welcome back to Salty Sunshine, where we shoot the salt. How you doing, Mama?
I'm doing great. Do you feel salty?
I'm feeling salty today.
What's today? Thursday. Okay.
Yeah,
Salty
close
day.
enough to the weekend.
Did you enjoy Coachella coverage?
Okay, Coachella this year is like the first year that I've gotten FOMO, and I think everyone on the internet agrees.
I have the
No,
opposite.
this year, well, you just don't like that environment. But
I saw
this
behind the
year they
scenes.
had really good artists.
They did.
And they had like not even just like I like house music, EDM, but then they also had these
No
who is it?
doubt.
Huh?
No doubt was the head, like the big.
Oh. No, and then Busta Rhymes was there and it was like such a flashback.
Love. I love the way he
Yeah.
rhymes.
He was like
I love Busta Rhymes.
And then Justin Bieber performed and he like doesn't usually perform. It's been a while.
Olivia Rodrigo came on stage.
With Madonna, right?
No. With
No, sorry, not Madonna. Gwen. Right? Yeah, with Gwen. And then Gwen's performance, too, was really good.
That was the best thing ever. They haven't performed together on stage for like 9 years. I don't think you know about
I didn't know that.
The story.
No, I do because I listened to a recent podcast. I think it was Skinny Confidential of Gwen Stefani.
So she's from my time. And when she first came out, she was dating one of her band members. And he broke her heart. He broke up with her. And they had to work through that and like continue whatever, but now they're friends, whatever. So it's so fun because it's the original band coming back together. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, it's not because I'm from there, but the 80s and 90s, we need to go back to that. That was the best time of life.
I don't know. It makes music like that anymore.
It's sad. It's so sad.
It is sad.
So, okay, wait. So I saw behind the scenes of Coachella, people, the regular people going through Coachella. A freaking nightmare. Coachella's for rich people. And if you're not rich, I highly suggest you don't go. Like, all you see is the band. First of all, you could watch the bands live on YouTube and on Twitter. They stream it live. So,
Mom, you're not going to go rave in your bedroom.
I would. Okay. 5 hours to get in, right? The drive-in, 5 hours. Security point, blah, 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 blah. Setting up, another 5 hours. Your tent, your bullshit, your stuff, blah, blah, blah. 1,000,000 hours.
You don't have to camp, but yes.
Poor people do. Hello? If you're not rich,
right,
in that circumstance, you're poor. So yes, you do. Because the hotel rates and the Airbnb, like it's too expensive.
That's true.
You set up, you take out all your stuff. God forbid you got to the bathroom, hours of wait. To shower, 1 to 4 hours waiting in a line to use their public showers, and it costs $20, whatever it is.
No, you just gotta get a jug and pour it on you.
People had portable showers in their tent, but again, you got to set it up. The water pressure's like drops, like it's a nightmare. It's a night, and the dust, it dust all up your nose.
Well, yeah, that's one thing is that the dust there is really, really.
You would be miserable.
You act as if I don't go to festivals and concerts like all the time.
That's a different kind of thing because it's in the middle of nowhere and it's
that's literally what Okeechobee was. You're just camping in the middle of nowhere for 4 days.
No, horrible. Oh, and I saw the 2 coffees and a breakfast burrito was $64.
Oh,
that's two breakfast burritos and 2 iced coffees were $64. So that's what they're charging.
I wonder how much the coffee was. It's probably like $15.
I mean, it's highway robbery. It's for the rich. Everything now, we're living in an elitist world. It's disgusting. I can't take it. So yeah, if you're not rich, I don't think you should go. It's a nightmare. And imagine packing all that up and then hours in line it's like, oh my God. I can't.
No, that is true though. Like if I ever went back to a camping festival, I would need an RV, like a nicer setup, like not camping or a hotel. But why? I couldn't do it the poor way again, especially at my age.
No, it's horrible. Yeah. And so Taylor Swift and her boyfriend were there.
I saw that, and the fact that there weren't like 1,000 screaming girls around her, like being annoying, is really surprising.
I always think all these celebrities that go and everyone's freaking out on the sidewalk or wherever they are. You know, those people go to like a grocery store and they go to they go other places. They're not like hermits. that doesn't happen in the real world. It only happens like in their venue. It's so weird. Like they're just people, of course, you know? Like Kanye West and Bianca. Yesterday they were spotted, or wherever they were spotted in Disneyland, or where they're alone. They're just walking down the street. It's like people aren't mobbing them. Like the mob
Sometimes they
thing.
are.
Yeah, but I feel like the mobbing only happens like if they're at an event, and then every time anywhere else they are, it's not happening. It's so odd.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
It's so odd. It's so weird. I don't get it.
I mean, yeah, I was really surprised when I saw the video of her just standing in the crowd.
I would.
I mean, there was a bunch of videos taken from strangers the whole time, but
yeah. I mean, they have to be in public. They're just people. Like, it's so weird how people treat them. I don't know.
Yeah, and also I guess it's filled with a bunch of influencers, so they're not going to be the ones to bombard her.
There's a lot of poor people there too.
I mean, no one there's poor, first of all.
Do you know who else is there?
Tickets are so expensive.
No, a lot of people there are poor and spend every last dime they have. I mean, when I say poor, I just mean regular.
Yeah,
you know, it's a lot of money for a regular person. It's like probably going to Europe, like what they're paying when they, when they add it all up. But Megan Fox was there, and she had some interview, and she addressed Love Is Blind, finally. But it's so funny because what she said was basically, "Oh, I did hear something about it, and I don't think anyone should be bullied. I hope she whatever." It's like she had either she didn't bother looking, or she wants to act like she doesn't know the juice. But
yeah,
she's like basically saying, I'm sure she probably could look like me. Like, I hope she didn't get bullied, but she didn't act like she knew exactly what everyone was talking about. She's like, I just hope she's not getting bullied. No one deserves that. It's like,
yeah, she was definitely taking the safe route. Like, she definitely looked it up. She knows who Chelsea is, and she just didn't want to be mean about it.
She didn't want to pretend like she knows anything about Love Is Blind.
Well, that too. She's like, I could never watch Love Is Blind. I'm Megan Fox.
I don't know what her deal is. I mean, it's the best show ever. The last date I went on, we had a little discussion about Love Is Blind. The guy was like so into it. I'm like, it's the best show ever.
Ooh, that's a green flag.
No, it was a red flag because he didn't think that their success rate was anything to be proud of. And I'm like 9 couples are still together and it's 6 seasons. And he's like, well, The Bachelor, he's like, but how many couples are in each season versus The Bachelor's only 1 couple and they have a better success. Like he was trying to downplay the success rate of Love Is Blind with The Bachelor, and I didn't appreciate it. I was like, bye, next. So that was that. There's this girl on TikTok. Have you ever seen her? Kyle Marissa Roth. She's the one that's like, you want more? I'll give you more. Do you know who that is?
No.
She's this blonde girl. She's always covering.
The one that passed away?
Yes. She's always covering blind items. And she's like, you want more? I'll give you more. And every time I see her, I'm like, oh my God, stop. It's so annoying.
So you knew her from before this?
I've seen her. I don't follow her, but I see her. I know who she is.
Yeah. I only know her because of what happened.
Did you hear the backlash with J-Lo? Oh my God. Go look at J-Lo's Instagram in the comments. You're going to die. Everyone's accusing her of murdering this chick.
Oh.
Like, you know why?
Because she talks about J-Lo?
Because she talks about everybody, right? She talks about celebrities. So she has blind items. And so apparently J-Lo did like I don't know, I guess when you talk things that you're not supposed to or copyright or whatever, they put like not on just her, like other influencers, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like a hold or a cease or something.
Oh, so a cease and desist.
Not a cease and desist, but like, I think that something happened to her account basically, right? So she makes money on the platform. And because of what J-Lo did, allegedly, they stopped her from making money. And because she had some sort of cancer and she couldn't get treatment because of J-Lo's, whatever J-Lo did, they're blaming her for, I'm like, this is so far-fetched and so ridiculous. They're like, kill her, RIP, like all over her. It's insane. This is the most idiotic. J-Lo's not responsible for her like well-being. or her financial status. Like if you do
people
something
on the
that's
internet
illegal,
are crazy.
No, insane. I mean, these are grown ass people. Like you do have half a brain cell, right?
Yeah, people just love a conspiracy theorist.
What's that conspiracy? Like, I don't
Well,
know
yeah,
what
they're like, I mean, it's a conspiracy that J-Lo killed her.
It's not a conspiracy. They're saying because you stopped her from making money, you killed her. But she shouldn't have done whatever she did that she shouldn't have been doing.
I don't think she died because she couldn't get her TikTok fund.
No, she came out and said, I can't afford my treatments now because they stopped my stuff. But
people don't just die because of that. Like, you're gonna go into debt for it. Like, you're not gonna die.
That's true. You have a credit card.
Yeah. Like, there are ways, like, they're not gonna just let you die. You'll go into a lot of debt.
I know. It's so disturbing. It's really disturbing.
Yeah, how psychotic people are.
They're like,
She's getting a lot of backlash with so much stuff right now.
Karma is 2024. I'm telling you, 2024. There's something to it. Mm-hmm. Everyone is like, I mean, I don't know if she deserves bad karma. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, like the wheels are turning for them, in not the good direction. Oh, can you imagine?
That's ridiculous, though.
Go look it up after this. You're gonna be like, what in the world? Yeah.
I mean, people also love this kind of stuff because they just want a bunch of views on their videos.
No, they're just commenting under her thing. Like, they're taking the time to go to J-Lo's Instagram and comment monster, kid, whatever. It's like, what? The whole thing.
People are such, like, followers.
So, since we last spoke, O.J. Simpson passed.
I
have so much, everyone, like, around my age has so much nostalgia. That happened in 90, that happened before you were born. It happened in 94.
Okay. Talking about conspiracy theories, people are saying, because you know how the Kris Jenner stuff just came out, that she's apparently involved in trafficking with Diddy?
I feel like they're dropping names of so many people that have nothing to do with it, but yeah.
Well, now there's a conspiracy theory. They're like, oh, it's crazy how OJ died right as this is coming out. They think like he came out and said something. They think that she killed off him.
Plus, people give people way too much credit with all this creativity. Like, you know, to kill somebody, it takes planning, and like you can't just kill you can't. It's not easy.
Well, someone with money could, I suppose.
Well, this happened in 94, before you were born. I was still in high school in 94. So I remember I had a part-time job and going to work, and everyone had the TVs on watching him like run, because you know they did that chase in the white Bronco, the iconic police chase, and all of that. So it's so funny because I feel like if he would have done that in like today's day and age with all the technology, he wouldn't have gotten away with it because they didn't have all the stuff, you know, the DNA. I don't know if they had DNA back then. I don't know. Or maybe it had just come out. Like they're better at that now. But the gloves didn't fit, like the gloves they found on the scene.
But apparently blood shrinks the material when it's dried.
Well, I saw two things. So his ex-lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, said that the LA police planted, which I wasn't aware, the police planted a bloody sock on the scene to frame OJ. Like they knew he did it. And so they wanted like proof. And because they got blood from like a lab, because it had like this ingredient that like makes the blood coagulate or whatever it's called. And so because they tested the blood and it wasn't human blood, that's another reason why he was let go. And so the police messed it up. And then the glove. So
how ridiculous.
It's so crazy because what I think of every time I see stuff like this is the poor families that suffered. They have to relive this over and over and over. Every time a doc comes out, someone dies, like over and over and over. So he wasn't found guilty, but again, something I don't understand. Sometimes you could be held civilly liable, like in a lawsuit, and not guilty criminally, which is so weird to me.
Yeah, because then you're guilty in some way.
Well, how can you like sue someone for money and not what? So he does owe money to the victim's family or the victim or whatever. And so he's never paid it, or he couldn't pay all of it. And he did this book called I Did It, or If I Did It. So in the book, it's like, I didn't do it, but if I did it, this is what I would have done. So weird. I'm like,
what?
You look it up. So when he did he had like 400,000 copies, and the family was so upset about it that he gave them the rights to the book so they can sell it and they make money off of it.
Oh,
just like as his debt.
Right, but now they're making the money off of how he killed her.
So they released it as I did it instead of if I. They took out if I to make it look like he did it. So weird. So now that book and all like his memorabilia, whatever, is like flying off the shelves because he died. Everyone's buying it.
Wait, I kind of want to read it.
If I did it, that is so weird.
That is weird. That's like a confession.
Yeah.
Wait, but also if he's not guilty in court, that's so weird that he owes them money. Because then he's guilty in consent.
I don't understand it. Make it make sense. I don't get it. But everyone's like, is Chloe okay? Has anyone checked on Chloe? Because everyone's saying he's Chloe's dad.
I know, her dad passed.
But she doesn't look like him. I think she looks like, he does have a daughter that kind of looks like Chloe. Not going to lie. They shared the photo. But the one that they actually accuse Chris is her ex-hairdresser that she supposedly had an affair with. He looks like Chloe.
Okay, why does she look like both of them?
She looks like anyone that's not her family.
Right.
I don't know. And then
either.
She looks nothing like her. Like, she couldn't be more opposite. She's white. She's super tall. She's blondish. She doesn't have that widow's peak everyone else has. Like, she looks nothing like them.
Yeah, I believe it.
But on the show...
And now people think, like, Chris had something to do with Nicole's death also. That's another conspiracy. Like, they were having an affair at that point.
No, because she turned on him and said he killed her, so she was having an affair. No, that was her friend. That was her best friend.
Oh, I don't know. People on TikTok.
But I mean, on the show on Kardashians, Chloe, they took a blood test. So
okay, but who knows? They could have just said that.
But do you think if Chloe knows that she's not biologically the dad, do you think she would just keep it in?
100%. I think she would keep it in. I think once Kris Jenner passes away and Khloe Kardashian is like older and all this reality TV stuff is done, or they're trying to like do a reboot when they're older or something, she's going to come out with like a juicy story.
Or she'll pull an OJ and not confess. Doing everyone a disservice.
I think she'll confess like way later on in life.
Hopefully, because we need to know. And Caitlyn Jenner came out on Twitter and said when OJ died, he's like, good riddance. Like, Caitlyn Jenner, Kylie and Kendall's dad.
Right. Yeah, I guess he was around for that.
Yeah, he thinks he's a piece of garbage. He's like, good riddance. Bye.
Everyone does.
Yeah. And then people are so stupid again. They're like comparing, because Caitlyn Jenner had like that car wreck at some point, and they're like, well, you're the same. You could have killed someone. And he's like, no, that's not the same. But I
mean, yeah, that was a stupid mistake, but it's not the same as murdering someone.
No. Oh, and they tried to correlate too. OJ had a few kids before getting with Nicole, and they're saying that one of his sons is the actual killer, and he's covering up for the son. And they never investigated the son. And the son had issues. And apparently that night that she died, she was supposed to go have dinner with her boyfriend at the son, where the son was waitering. Like, he was a waiter. And he worked there, and they never went to go, and he pissed him off, and he came and killed. Like, they're saying he has a loose screw, and he's the one that did it. And
I wonder if the glove fits.
Exactly. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Because Nicole Simpson has like a sister or two, so she has family, and she did a podcast talking about all this stuff. Like, they talk about it. So that's more interesting to me, like the family that knows more, and not all these strangers that are like assuming things and making stuff up.
Right, like the FBI TikTok.
Yeah.
So do you believe the whole Kris Jenner and Diddy thing?
I told you already, I do not. I would be shocked if I had to bet $500 or whatever that she's I don't see it. I think to them money is God. They live and die for success and money, and I don't think Not because they're so great people, but I do think they're good. Like, I don't think they're that kind of person. I don't know. I don't see it.
I think so.
I don't see it. I would be shocked.
They're like best friends with Ellen, who is also, everyone thinks that she's involved in it as well. And then
based on what?
Okay, first of all, they found a video. They found some sort of evidence in Diddy's home. That's why they're saying this.
Oh, what kind of evidence? You don't know the evidence.
Like the whole Epstein thing, it's just like people were hanging out with him, like doesn't mean they're involved. This one, it's like they found evidence. They haven't come out with it yet, but apparently it's like evidence.
Okay. Well, Diddy's posting. He's posting on Instagram. He's on a yacht somewhere in Italy. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like not worried. So,
I mean, I'm sure he has friends that can help him out, but I'm sure they'll get away with it. But
I
it'd
just
be
don't.
crazy.
Until they come out with evidence, I don't know. I don't know. Why? What's taking them so long? Where's the evidence?
I mean, she sold her daughter.
Who?
Chris.
What do you mean
she's the one behind the whole sex tape thing?
Because she cares about money. She doesn't want to go to jail.
There's a lot of money in trafficking.
Okay, she doesn't want that. She doesn't need that kind of money. Like, what? Oh my god. Okay.
I don't know. I believe it, but continue.
I personally don't. I would be shocked. I would be shocked. And she has, I don't know. They seem like the most egotistical, narcissistic, money-hungry, mongering people. But at the same time, I don't see them as like slummy. Like,
you never know, though. People can put on such a good face.
I agree, but I don't get the that my instinct says no. But I went to eat at Flanagan's. I don't know if Flanagan's is a nationwide chain, but here we have a lot of Flanagan's. The best sports bar ever restaurant. So I went there last week with some girlfriends, and one of my friends, she kind of grew up in Las Vegas. And she's like, oh my God, I have the juiciest story for you guys. So she's telling us this story about her friend saying that the girl she knows, blah, 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 along the line, all this history. But long story short is one of the girls that she knows her a little bit, but then her friend really knows her. She was married and had kids. Long story short, her husband is cheating on her with her girlfriend. So he cheats on her with his girlfriend. He leaves her for the girl. Gets the girl pregnant within months and wants a divorce. So the girl's devastated, all this stuff, all this drama. But the real drama is they're about to get divorced. And that girl's married as well. The girl he leaves the girl for, the friend, is also married. So she's getting a divorce. So everyone's getting a divorce and people are leaving for these two couples leave their spouses. They're going to get together. She's pregnant. She already has one kid. She's pregnant with a second one. And they're still going through the divorce stuff. Then the other guy, the husband that she's leaving for this guy, his father is a huge attorney in Vegas, and he finds out secretly that has a terminal brain cancer situation, and he's not going to live long. He's in his 77 or something, but he's a well-to-do attorney, and he either tells his son or keeps it to himself. He's like, listen, I'm not going to go through all this. I want to off myself, so this little biatch is doing this to you. I'm getting rid of her and that guy. He goes to the divorce proceedings right before, like the same day that they're about to like finalize a divorce. He goes and offs the girl while she's pregnant, the boyfriend that's trying to get divorced, and himself. So obviously my friend's telling me all this story. She's not getting the facts right. This, what I'm telling you, is because I saw it online. So she's not getting all the facts right because she just heard it from her friend and they're like, whatever. It just happened. So then I go and I see it on Daily Mail and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is like, these are the details. Insane.
That is insane. And I need to know, like, if the guy knew, like the son.
He'll never say. I mean, maybe
obviously.
He will.
That is crazy.
That is such a man thing to do. Like, men think, especially
like they
with
own
money,
you.
Men with money especially think like they have these rights that mere sibling, that mere, people don't have. Like, what makes you think that's okay? Like,
I do wonder though, like, since he comes from money, that if the girl who was leaving him was like trying to take so much money from him, and like the divorce was just such a headache because she was trying to like take him for half of what he's worth kind of thing. And
So
maybe that's part of the reason why he offed her.
So Joseph Houston is the dad that killed everybody. He was 77, Vegas attorney. The girl, her name is Ashley Prince. She was 30. And the boyfriend is Dennis Prince. Wait, and her husband, Dennis Prince, was 57. Wait. So Ashley's 30, her husband is 57. But her husband's not the one. Her husband's the one she left. So her husband is the son of Joseph?
Probably, yes.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know the details, but I wonder though if he does probably have a lot of money. So he's obviously probably leaving it to his son. I wonder if his son is going to be screwed from the families suing his estate. Because it's the father's money.
Right. But the son didn't have anything to do with it. It's not like he's getting life insurance. It's like actual.
Yeah, but it's not the son's money. It's the dad's money. It's only going to the son because the dad shot himself. So now if the dad's estate gets sued for the pain he inflicted on these families, then that's less money for the son, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's the dad's money before it goes to the son. And if the dad did a crime that they can sue for, I wonder if that impacts the inheritance.
Well, who knows what the dad did behind the scenes? Like maybe he already gifted it to him. Like, I don't know.
Right.
He could have like transferred everything already and then did
Look,
this.
here it says.
I'm sure he's smart enough to do that.
They were in an ongoing deposition hearing regarding child custody. At some point during the deposition, the suspect got up and shot the two victims from across the table. Like Law and Order.
Movie.
Yeah.
Did he kill himself afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the plan. He wanted to kill himself because he knew he was terminally ill. So he knew he was going to die anyways. He's like, I might as well take them with me. Crazy.
And she already had a son with the original husband, not with the affair guy?
She had a son with the affair. And she was pregnant with her second son with the affair.
Right. So now that kid's just an orphan.
I don't know. The kid's an orphan, lost his sibling, and then I don't know if she had kids with her husband she was divorcing. I'm assuming probably.
Right, because they were at that court.
But there was a like an attorney or something that said the son must have known something. Like, you know how guys are. Like, son, I'm going to take care of this. And maybe the son thought he was joking or was like, my dad's out of his mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, maybe. But he must have said something.
But they'll never know.
That is the craziest thing. I mean, so sad. But this is why I always tell people, and obviously this is not okay but people are nuts. You have to really be careful. Like, you should not be cheating, lying. That makes people lose their mind. Like crazy people that are insane anyways. Like you never know who they are though. Like how they react.
Also, if it was just a divorce, like let the person go. People get so possessive. It's crazy when they're like, no, he's mine. Like it's crazy.
But I think
it has to do with the money too.
But I also think it's the more honest you are, more blunt you are. Like I think when you play with people's feelings, they really lose their shit. Like if you're like, if you won't be honest, if you're like tiptoeing around, if you're like making them think there's hope and then they see, like, I feel like the crazies like flip a switch. You got to be really honest.
It depends. Some people are just possessive and they'll latch on anyways.
It's true. But those people that are so possessive, the more honest you are, the less they have to play with, the less like la la land they're in. I don't know. So that was just the craziest story. Because, you know,
the fact that your friend knew her, crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, because she said the story at dinner, and the next morning I looked it up and I called her. I'm like, oh my God, you left all these facts out. Like, this is this and this is that. She's like, what?
And the girl that she knows is completely fine because she was married to the husband.
The girl she knows, well, she's probably like freaked out.
Right, but she's not dead.
She's not dead, but her kid's father is dead.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It's probably very traumatizing, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's probably low key, not happy, but like you got where you know. You know, people are like, you cheated on me and left me, so you got what you got. No.
Right. Some part of her.
She was devastated, apparently, according to.
I mean, yeah, it's still the father of your child, so.
Oh, I was like, this is nuts.
No, it actually sounds like a movie, and it happened to your friend's friend.
They should make it's a movie. It's a total movie. Like, that's so juicy. Did you see Bethany Frankel? You know Bethany, Skinny Confidential, not Skinny Confidential, Skinny Margarita, Bethany, Skinny Girl from Real Housewives of New York. She had, I don't know if you know this, but when she got married to this guy, her child's father, 2 years they were married. And their divorce lasted like 10. Like, he ruined like a huge portion of her life. Like, they had the worst, like, he was one of those people that like they wouldn't let you divorce them because they were just so annoying.
And this is why people kill.
Yeah.
Divorce.
Yes. If she would have done that to him, he probably would have low-key tried to kill her on the down low. Yeah. So she's coming out on her podcast talking about her divorce, and she brought out notes. She showed on TikTok. She's like, these are all my notes with my stickers and everything of her divorce and like everything they went through. So she's talking about it for the first time. So if anyone's interested in that, go listen to her podcast. It's probably juicy.
Her divorce is finalized though?
I think so. But it took, I mean,
what a nightmare.
Nightmare.
This is why people like prenups. But it could still be a nightmare if the person.
But this is why like, you don't marry so quickly. I don't know.
I feel like people change though once like a breakup happens.
There's no way. No, she had a prenup. He fought the prenup, and because they had a child, it gets a little more complicated.
Yeah.
But she, of course, she was already like wealthy when they got together, so she definitely had a prenup.
See, this is why I would want to get married before I like come into money, because money just like attracts different kinds of people, and sometimes not the right people. I would hate to be famous or have a lot of money and then try to find love. I feel like people would try to use me.
Totally. I know. It's, well, unless a person's also wealthy that you meet.
Right.
I know. I'm telling you. That's why the evolution, like, naturally, you meet someone when you're young and then you get together. And it's like, it's a more natural process, because when you get older, it's like making friends when you're older. It's so impossible. Like, people are weird. People get so weird as they age.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not in there because I have like I'm still the same person I was when I was 20, but that's not normal. That's not common. People are very odd. They get very money hungry. They get very focused on things that are just different than when you're young. Like, what 401k? What do you do? Investment? Like, everything is like money and like stuff.
Yeah. I mean, people lose their inner child.
Yes. And they get very odd, and they focus on really odd things. So it's hard to make friends, to find partners. It's weird.
That's why you gotta date a tiny bit younger. Not too young, but.
Oh my God. Speaking of young, Kristen Cavallari's boyfriend, Mark was Estes or something, from Montana Boys, they're blowing up. They're the reverse gold diggers. Like, she brought them to the spotlight. Him dating her, they were at Watch What Happens Live the other night as bartenders.
Oh.
And yeah, they're getting all this publicity, so she's blowing them up.
Yeah, this is great for him.
She should get a commission. Not kidding. But they asked Andy from Bravo, asked him, "Are you guys serious?" And he goes, "As serious gets." And he goes, "How long have you been dating?" He's like, "A few months." They've been dating like 2 months.
That makes something. What's the saying where it's like the flame that burns the brightest blows out the quickest?
Is that a saying?
Something like that. When it's too hot and heavy in the beginning, when people are too obsessed and they go quickly, and it's like, we're gonna get married, we're like 2 months in, and it's just super hot and heavy, like they're gonna be over in like 5 months.
I have heard therapists say, and like, you know, relationship coaches, like, you want a slow and steady burn. You don't want that. You don't want that, because that is usually like not a good foundation, and it's like, it could turn toxic because it's like too much too soon. You want a slow and steady. Yeah.
And then they start like, they don't really know each other because they're kind of just like up here instead of like getting into who each other are. And then towards the end, that's why they break up, because then they're like, ooh, no, they like each other.
It's too much too soon. And what's the rush? Like, why are you rushing so much? It's like a desperation.
I mean, I wonder if she wants more kids.
Well, remember I told you she said that she didn't want more kids, but if he really wants more kids, she'll consider it.
Oh.
Remember,
How old is she?
37 or 38?
Oof. I mean, Courtney did have a kid in her 40s, so it's possible, but she went through like a year too long
It's
IVF
possible as long as
process.
you're menstruating. And this myth, I mean, your eggs are older, but I mean, so Nick Viall talked about how his mom had all her kids in her late 40s. Like everyone,
What?
it's not, yes, as long as you're, yeah.
I think it's just
not,
more of a risk because you don't know when that process is going to happen to you.
It's only a risk because women are born with the same eggs they die with. So your eggs are aging with you. And that's why sperm doesn't do that. It's like reproducing, but eggs are the same. So that's where the only risk is the quality of the baby because the eggs are older.
Right. Which is important.
No, but that's the only risk. It's not like.
Mm-hmm.
So when he said that, where as serious gets, his friend goes, "Hell yeah, man."
It's just they're not mature.
His friends make him look even younger because he kind of acts like a man, but his friends make him look like, bring him right back down to like, hell yeah. And they look younger. So funny. So funny.
I wonder how he likes being like a kind of like a stepdad. Like, I wonder if he hangs out with her kids.
I think that I'm sure he does.
I don't know. For a lot of guys, that like freaks him out, but I guess not him.
I don't know. Did you see Courtney? Speaking of Courtney Kardashian, she posted on her Instagram story that she was feeling under the weather, so she was drinking her own breast milk. Yes.
I mean, isn't it liquid gold?
Okay, but if the milk is coming from in you, how is drinking it any different? It's already in you because you're getting it from in you.
Right, but I think it's different. I mean, it goes down different parts of your body.
But it's already in your body.
You digest it?
I'm wondering, like, I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any different if it's you're producing it already? So drinking it, is it different? But she was saying that, and everyone's like, "Ew, gross."
I mean, if you really think about it, like we drink out of a cow. We're the only animal that drinks out of a different animal. So
I know, but the cows always make
a little more sane because she's drinking out of her own animal.
But the cow's always producing milk. Like women don't always produce milk, so it's not even milk. It's like it's not milk. I don't know. Yuck! I wouldn't do that. Gross. Balenciaga is bringing back the city bag. I don't know if you remember the city bag, but when I was growing up, it was everywhere. Like, this is the bag of bags. Like, remember this model of bag?
Probably. Yeah, it looks familiar.
With the chains on, like, Sandra had one. My friend had one. Everyone had one. Like, that black bag. It was the bag everywhere. And they're bringing it back, which I think is fun. They're bringing it back in all these different colors and shapes and sizes. It's nostalgic because it's from the 80s.
Right. A very cute bag, but you're going to get a lot of hate if you get something like that. Balenciaga.
Everyone's wearing, I'm not going to, I don't spend that kind of money on stuff, but
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but everyone's wearing Balenciaga and no one's.
I always see people commenting about it, but the child stuff, if no one knows what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about, but apparently no one's getting backlash, so they should be getting.
I mean, I only see it on Kim's stuff, but Kim gets backlash for anything that she does. So
Kim was on the red carpet the other day in this white dress. I don't know if you saw her with her mom, and she had like, you know how Kylie did that
hair?
Yeah. You know how Kylie did the wet look? Like, I feel like she copies her. Like, she's such a copycat. Like, she would annoy me if she was my sister. Like, she was like Courtney. I'm like, stop copying me.
No, she really is.
She can't stand it. She needs the spotlight. So she did the wet thing. But my point is, she looks so, I don't know. She looks so different. Like, her face, she looks weird, doesn't she?
I mean, after you start like doing all those like fillers, Botox, after a couple of years, you're going to start looking interesting.
She looks like
different.
Not a good
that's what's happening to her.
It's not a good difference.
You could only do it for so long before your face kind of.
I feel like she looks witchy. She looks like a little witch.
That's exactly what the face is. It's like the cat witchy kind of look. It's like
not
Megan
soft.
Fox. That's why she looks like that.
Yeah, she doesn't look soft and fresh. She doesn't look fresh. She looks like
Yeah.
rough. I don't know the word.
But that's what happens when you use Botox and fillers for 10
Oh my
years.
God. And a million, she's doing a million things. It's
Right.
not Botox and fillers.
Right. It's like all the other little stuff that she does. But
I mean, I don't want to clown on her. I feel bad. Like, I don't like to like say women look anything, but she just looks so different than like the Kardashian I grew up watching. I'm just like,
right.
oh my gosh, like you look so different and not in a good way. And people can look how they could choose how they want to look. And she doesn't look bad. She just doesn't look soft and fresh anymore. That's
Right.
all. Like people have a right to look how they want, but it's just a shame because she doesn't look like fresh.
Right. I think it's
Yeah.
crazy when people like her who's like she's just so naturally pretty, but she still feels the need
Exactly.
to do all that.
If anyone, you didn't need to do any of this. You
Right.
would have looked amazing without all that. Look at
Mm-hmm.
Courtney. I mean, I'm sure Courtney does a little snippet, but she's more natural. She looks fresh.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
She doesn't look tired. Like this one looks like heavy. She looks heavy, like a heavy energy. I
Yeah.
don't know. I I feel bad. I don't feel bad. She's probably very happy with how she looks, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
that kind of again, that kind of stuff is a trend too. Like that trend of how she looks is kind of going away, and people like the more clean, fresh Hailey Bieber, Courtney kind of look.
Yeah. This girl Empath Eyes on TikTok, she made a post and she got so much backlash because she said, I am so perturbed and like disgusted. When you go to a wedding, people that show up to go to a wedding and spend $50 to $100 on the gift, like that just covers your plate. I think that is so unacceptable and all this stuff. And people are freaking out because she's like, you don't give your plate, you give your plate plus an amazing gift. And everyone's like, who are you? Like,
What?
we didn't plan your wedding. Like, that's on you. Like, you just invited us. And she's like, everyone was freaking out with the comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, she was the one throwing the wedding?
No, she's just saying when you go to a wedding,
Oh.
in my family, like that's not what you do. And it's like everyone's like, well, we don't have to cover our plate. We didn't, it's not our wedding.
The whole point is that I'm traveling for your wedding. I'm paying for all this stuff, and you're the one who's going to provide the meal. That's like this girl who didn't have an open bar at her wedding. I was like,
Oh,
I have to pay for drinks now to be at
yeah.
your wedding.
People
are crazy with wedding stuff.
I don't like weddings or funerals. I already said it. I said what I said. It's ridiculous.
I think if you're traveling to a wedding, depending on like the cost of like all of that, sometimes you don't even have to give a gift. Like people are doing destination weddings in like Italy, that doesn't need a gift. Or like people who you're putting the hotel and it's like $1,000 for the weekend. You don't need to.
I think gifts should be optional. I'm like, if I have money and I want to throw myself a wedding, I will be perfectly happy with no one bringing anything. Like I don't like gifts. It's not that I don't like gifts. I'm fine without them too. Like I'm throwing the wedding because I have the money to throw it and I want you to come. And if you want to give me a gift, great. If you don't, great. I don't, this pressure, it's just like Christmas. I hate that pressure of the gift. Like if you want to and you can, great. And if you can't, great. It should be the same feeling. It shouldn't be, I don't know.
It shouldn't just turns into a burden for other people.
A nightmare.
Yeah.
So she got a lot of backlash. Like no one agreed with her.
I mean, as she should. That's a terrible take.
That's a terrible
take.
How
ungrateful. Like hopefully people don't bring you like imagine bringing them a gift after like spending all this money coming to their wedding and then she's like complaining it's not expensive enough.
I know. Are you doing a fundraiser or are you doing a wedding? Like, is this a GoFundMe or is it a wedding? Like you chose to do the wedding.
Yeah. Ridiculous. And then I saw this one on, I think it was like Reddit, and this girl pretty much got everything gifted just because like she knew people, like she knew a DJ, she didn't have to pay for it, like the venue she didn't pay for, she didn't pay for the bar. Like it was a gift from a family member, so she didn't pay for any of the alcohol or the bartenders, and she still had not an open bar, so people had to pay for their drinks. So she made money on her wedding and she used it for her honeymoon. And she didn't tell anyone that the drinks that she got were free and she was making the money. So she made $20K for her honeymoon off of her friends and family who came to her wedding.
Didn't you in high school or junior high, didn't your friends like have parties and like charge it? Oh no. Or they would do parties and charge an entrance fee, right?
Yes.
They did that.
Like $5 in high school, $5 to $10, and you had to like pay that to get
Cover
in.
the party.
Yeah, those are more like the private school kids, and I was like, what is happening? Yeah, no. Entrepreneurs. That's how the rich stay rich.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I remember that. I'm like, $20? What?
Yeah,
Like, Mom, I need
ridiculous.
$20 to go to a party. I'm like,
okay, first of all, I never did that. I did it maybe once.
Yeah.
And the one that I did it at, it was like $5 to get in. And we get in, 10 minutes later, cops show up. The party was done.
Always. Always.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw that guy on a cruise ship. Did you see on the news that guy, Le'Veon Parker? He was like 20 and he was there with his family on a cruise. And he got in a fight with his dad because I guess he was drunk on the ship. And they were like, that started the fight. And I don't know what else the fight was about. But he jumped overboard and killed himself. Can you imagine? Yeah. He jumped overboard and killed himself.
Oh my God.
Because of the fight with his dad.
Wait, that poor father?
Right?
Oh my God.
He was a former high school football player and an avid hunter from Florida. And they were on the Royal Caribbean cruise.
Okay, I don't know what kind of past trauma he might have with his dad. I don't know if the kid is just neurotic or if the dad actually is a terrible person. But let's say it's just like him having a spur of the moment, like he just has like anger issues or something. That is so selfish. But I guess high school kids are selfish.
When he was 20. He was 20. So he either had like an ongoing feud with his dad and maybe felt like a loser and was super depressed. Or he was so drunk, he didn't know what he was doing, but he jumped overboard in front of his brother and his father. So crazy to see it. Like, oh God, the torture.
That dad is never gonna forgive himself. I feel so bad for him.
First of all, it's never a good idea to fight with someone that's intoxicated. That right there. Yeah. You have to be careful because if depending on how intoxicated he is, you do things that you're not thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe the dad's like, "Oh, you're useless. You're a loser." I don't know. Who knows what he said? And then the guy's like, "I am a loser."
That poor dad. He's gonna be traumatized.
The mom. You think they'll get divorced?
Well, usually when people lose a kid, they get divorced. And especially when it's like not the dad's fault, but he was involved.
Listen, I went to high school with this girl from Miami, and I remember the girl, the boating accident. So she's married. She has 2 kids, a girl and a boy. And the girl went on, every spring break or whatever, every holiday, Columbus Day, whatever, they go on boats. And remember when you were young, I never let you do it. I'm like, you're not going on a boat on a crazy holiday weekend. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. I don't care. People are drinking. There's no laws out there in the ocean. Everyone's drinking. So whoever's driving that boat is drinking. And at night, there's no lights. You can't see anything. I'm like, you're not going. Remember, you never went. I never let you.
Big eye roll.
Well, this mother let her. And of course, like she trusted whoever she was with. She knew the family. But there was like a bunch of kids on the boat. They went out. And I don't know what happened. If they hit something, I don't know what happened. But something happened that she went overboard. And she got caught she died. Remember? This happened like a few years ago. So devastating. But her marriage survived, and they're super active, and they did a foundation for her, and it's beautiful. Like she's always posting like merch, and like she goes like to different events and speaks. And so they turned a tragedy, and they did the best with it. But that's not common. I feel like a lot of people like break under the
Those are 2 very like well-developed people for them both to be like that.
Like they must have like a really good foundations, whether it's spiritual, like love, like they're coming from love, and they're just like beautifying her memory and like making it their mission to like keep her memory alive and do something good with it, as opposed to just being depressed and breaking down and like getting divorced or whatever. Like, it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
That is really sad.
She was just graduating from high school.
And there were like parents on board and stuff. It wasn't like
Yeah.
drunk kids driving. Oh,
Parents. That's what I'm saying. It's just those type of weekends when so many people are out in the ocean. I don't like it. Tragedy always strikes. It always strikes. There's too many people out there drinking on a boat.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's just any holiday anywhere.
But any holiday on a boat is a bad idea. In a populated area. If you're in a boat and there's no one out there, like, but if you're like all these people going out and coming in, there's always something bad happening.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that happened to this kid who they're like, my friend group knows the kid that it happened to because they all went to college in the same place, and they were out on the boat, and this incident was because of drunk kids. So the girl fell off, but they didn't go back and look for her because they were freaking out because they were like driving drunk, like driving the boat drunk. So they went back to the dock, left her, and then, or like tossed the alcohol, something like that. And then they went back out to look for her, but obviously she was gone by then. And I think they're like facing trial.
When you're in the water, there's no signs. It's not like there could be like you can't see. There's no lights. It's dark. If there's something in the water that you can bump into, you're going 50, 60 miles an hour, you're going overboard. Like, there's no warning.
At night it's crazy to go that fast.
There's no warning. And so, and anyone on a boat, they're not wearing life jackets. I've been on a boat a million times. Nobody wears a life jacket. But you're supposed to be in a life jacket because if you go overboard, you're screwed.
I mean, it's like hitting concrete at that speed. You're knocked out.
And if you have a life jacket, it brings you back up. Like, if you don't, you're stuck. Oh, it's crazy. They need to make cuter life jackets. Like, these life jackets are like...
Yeah, seriously. So people actually want to wear them. Like, you're not going to just sit there like this.
That's a good business. If they can make it like a thinner, but has the same like effect, but thin and like a neutral color.
Yeah, like an actually like fashionable cute one.
Like a cute one. More people would wear it. It's like not
like even paddleboarding, like when you like people need to wear it, but like none of us do because it's
business idea.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Cruise ship. Did you hear about the grandfather who accidentally dropped his daughter's baby off the cruise?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god! So they were in like the play area, and the kid was young, maybe like.
Is that recent?
Yeah.
Okay, how have I not seen it?
I mean, I just recently saw it. Maybe it was like a year ago and it resurfaced. But anyways, so they were on a cruise and there's like a window that kind of like slants. So you can like sit on it. Like apparently he's done it to the other windows there and he can like put the kid on it and she can lean on the window to look out into the water. So he grabs the kid, puts her on, and then I guess like lets go of her so she can lean forward. And she falls down.
No, he meant to kill the baby. No, he meant to kill the baby.
Okay. Yes.
Well, wait. So you just saw it because this happened in 2021 because he was just sentenced to 3 years.
That's why. Yeah.
3 years probation. So it sounds like
the daughter is like on her dad's side. The daughter's on her dad's side, but the surveillance shows that he put his arms through that window before, so he knew it was open. Like him saying he didn't know it was open is completely false because there's video of him looking out the window.
She doesn't want to believe her dad could do that. Or
he's just like old and doesn't.
He'll never admit it, but like this doesn't sound like something somebody like that loves you would do. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Like, or maybe he's one of, guys are stupid. Some guys are like, oh, it's so funny. And then they don't think, then it's tragedy. Like, he didn't mean to do it, but he knew better. Like, he knew that it could, Oh, God.
Awful.
That's terrible. And she died, obviously.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Literally, like, just holding her out of the window.
What a fool.
Yeah.
It's like when Michael Jackson held his baby and dangled him on the balcony. The baby could have fell.
Who?
Michael Jackson. He dangled his baby off a balcony a long time ago, and if the baby would have fallen, like maybe he didn't mean to kill her, but I'm sorry, you're choosing to do something that
Mm-hmm.
like kill the baby. So even though you don't mean to, you kind of mean to by taking that action. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really surprising that the daughter is like on her dad's side. I'd be furious.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh well. All
A lot of
right.
stuff
Well,
happens on cruise ships. Remember that kid who jumped in because of his drunk friends telling him to?
that was a boat, wasn't it? That
No, a
was a
cruise
boat.
ship.
No, that
Nope.
was a boat.
Nope.
They went
There's
celebrate
literally
their
videos of
graduation.
there's a video looking out into the cruise ship.
Oh, well, I think there was two different stories. One was on a boat and maybe one was on a cruise ship celebrating their high school stuff or something.
I was on a cruise ship. He jumps in and it was at night.
Yeah.
And then
So stupid.
there were definitely sharks in there. You can like see it in the video.
Well, there's always sharks in there. That's where they live.
Well, yeah, but just saying there's definitely a shark
sharks
that
in this
got him.
area. There's sharks in all the areas. That's their home.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. All right. Well, that's all we got.
Yep.
All right. Oh, and I did my mini episode the other day. So much to talk about because I was going to wait 2 weeks, but I'm like, there's so much drama. Go look at JLo's comments so you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll look at JLo's comments and then we're going to do the book review next week.
You're done?
Almost.
Okay, this is going to be like a bi-monthly review because that's how long it's taking to finish the book.
Okay, I have to move and stuff. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Every 2 months is good.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.